Hello and welcome to the gaming podcast with Chibi. He's the host, not me. So we're going to be talking about some games for November. You want to talk first, or
The first game we're going to talk about is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed is a old school game from the early 2000s. I don't know much about it, but I know it's very cool and awesome, and you're uh, you're in the ancient Egypt times. I mean, they switch it up all the time, but uh, it makes it unique and cool, right?
I think this one's actually Vikings, I believe. I'm watching the trailer right now. The Norwegians, I believe, when they invaded England.
Oh, Vikings. Oh, snap. That makes more sense because Valhalla. That is that's a really awesome landscape to put a assassins type game,
It, it's based on real world events that happened hundreds of years ago.
Oh, that's the greatness about Assassin's Creed, that it's realistic, kind of realistic. It's not totally realistic, but it's based on real events.
Yeah, I'm just watching the trailer now, and the fighting mechanics do look improved from the past games. And in the fighting scenes, there does look like there is a lot more going on, animations, particles, and just a lot more characters on the screen at once.
Right. I'm gonna bring up the trailer on my phone here. I've not seen the gameplay of this game yet. I don't keep up with Assassin's Creed. There's so many games of that uh genre in the yeah. It's just it's overwhelming, when you have like 5 different type of games. Wow, this looks actually pretty.
Yeah, the open world games is just very saturated in the market right now.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, you got GTA, Red Dead Redemption. It's just, I mean, they're big. Like, it takes like 30, 50 hours to even finish the game's main story. I mean, that is fun. Uh but it's a little overwhelming for me.
You want the games to be long enough, be worth the money and the wait.
Yeah, true. It'll be worth the $80 you spent for a video game. Uh,
But a lot of the new open world games are just the same companies trying to like put their games against each other. As you said, GTA and Red Dead, they're from the same company.
yeah, Red. Yeah, it's the same generic third person shooter up.
Like they're good games, but there's not much difference between them.
It's the same gameplay over and over and over again. It gets generic and boring, and that's probably why we haven't had a GTA game in like 7 years.
Even longer because they're bringing it on to PS5 the end of next year, and it's not like they're just going to have that for a year or two. They're going to try and have it for longer.
That's true. That's true. They're are they rebooting it? Like making GTA 6 or something?
No, it's the same game. It's basically what they did with PS4 when they brought over to PS4 with graphic update and their own servers. It's probably just going to be the PC standards, the highest PC standards.
Oh, oh, they're doing a graphics update for. Oh man, that's gonna be something else. Because that game is beautiful. It's a beautiful map. I just don't I just don't like the the online mode. You can die over and over again by hackers and stuff. But we're not talking about GTA too much, but Valhalla just I'm watching it right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen wherever. Uh it's satisfying. It's really good gameplay. Just showing a little clip. But yeah, that's the gameplay of Valhalla. It's pretty sweet, especially the sword fighting mechanics of this game. It's pretty good. And I love bow and arrows too in video games. They're satisfying because gun gameplay, it gets repetitive a lot. So it's always good to switch it up to a sword or a bow and arrow, especially in these types of games because you actually feel immersed in the open world of wherever, really, like samurai games and stuff like that. Like that the brand new game that came out a couple months ago, Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah, the samurai game.
The Yeah, it looks very nice. Very nice.
Like I was saying with the bow and arrows and even swords, just handheld weapons. In games and in real life, you have more control over them, so it's more immersive.
Yeah, and skill trees and all that stuff that I don't know too much about. It overwhelms me with the skill trees, but the gameplay is nice. So, I personally never. I was going to play Destiny 1 like back in like when it came out 2015, 2014. I thought it was a cool game concept, but until I realized it was online mostly, I didn't have Xbox Live back then, so I couldn't really play the game. But then Destiny 2 came out like a few years later when I started, having Xbox Live and all that. Uh, Destiny 2, I really just, skipped out on until it got free like a year ago. Tried it out for a couple hours, kind of got confused and lost halfway through. Uh, that's just my story about it. I didn't really look into DLC or anything because it was free.
I played Destiny 2 for a bit, but I started playing it when the online community started decreasing. People weren't playing it as much.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
So then, I just stopped playing it then because it was taking ages to find matchmaking. Like now they're releasing more DLC expansions than that, even free ones.
That's good. That's good because you know, you just don't have a good, it's not interesting. Like last year, it was kind of boring and overwhelming.
There's a lot of content now, but like I think they've added it too late. I think they've waited too long to add the DLC
Yeah,
and all that. Now there's good amount of content there, but the players base is not as big as it would have been.
like when No Man's Sky released, it was just a wasteland, boring game until they released a much better game in 2019, 2020. They just released a
Yeah, they did fix that game. People people are praising it now, but it's just like it's just too late.
Yeah, they fixed it. It was a bad launch, like a really bad launch, and I wanted to play that when it came out, but I was kind of hesitant because of the reviews. Do you want to talk about Call of Duty Cold War now? Because I'm not. I haven't played a Black Ops Call of Duty in like years. Like I think the last one I played was the second one, Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
I yeah, I love Black Ops 2. I played a bit of Black Ops 3, I just didn't like the futuristic aspect.
Yeah, I always did zombies and stuff. That was my favorite game mode of that game, I think. Uh just satisfying. It was pain in the butt most of the time, but you know, that was zombies. It was really fun. And World at War is a good Call of Duty game as well that I played like majority of it, like majority of it. Not the campaign. I only played like the couple missions. I should probably do that, but uh just satisfying
I didn't play that game.
oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't have a console at the time.
Basically it's basically the most best Call of Duty campaign, I would say, but I haven't played the whole thing, just the starting missions. It's satisfying. Really satisfying game, especially multiplayer co-op mode for zombies and stuff like that. It's good.
Wait, so what did you like about Black Ops 2? Like gameplay?
I I really didn't notice much because I don't focus on, customizing stuff. I like the classes and stuff. I love the customization. You can and the guns.
Right, so when they went to when they went to Black Ops 3, they added specialist characters that you play as. They have special moves as well.
I have I don't think I've ever played 4 or 3. Like I've never played those games. So I can't give an opinion on if I like it or hate it cuz I've never played the game before, Uh I mean, people reviewed it a lot. I would assume that it's good or bad in between one of those games.
Black Ops 4 didn't do very well. The sales were alright, but it didn't have great reviews.
Oh, is it like Infinite War? It's not as bad as Infinite Warfare, is it?
Similar gameplay, futuristic, jetpack, wall rise, yeah.
Oh, uh, I don't like that. I don't like that in Call of Duty. That doesn't feel right. It has to be that like boots on the ground combat. I did not really like uh I didn't really like World at War. I mean the other one. World War Two. World War Two. The new one. I didn't really like that. That the rip off of their original game.
Well, Cold War is boots on the ground. It doesn't have jetpacks or wall running. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have wall running.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is during the 1950s, right? Like that Cold War era.
I'm not sure, but it's more similar to Black Ops 2 gameplay wise than Black Ops 3 and 4. Yeah, I prefer just boots on the ground classic gameplay.
Okay. That's awesome. Like I'm excited if this is coming out on PC or something. I might get this actually. Uh
The reviews are better than Black Ops 4 as well so far by open beta.
I've seen some gameplay, I think, like a while ago. Oh wow, wait, is it already out?
The beta's out right now.
Oh, it's beta. Okay,
Yeah, it's been out for about a month, closed beta.
closed beta. That makes more sense. This looks better. Yeah, this does. I like it. I'm gonna put some gameplay footage on the screen while we're talking about this. And yeah, this is immersive. Wow. We can talk about Cyberpunk. That's like the biggest the hyped game of the year. Well, not that it's not going to be this year because, it got pushed back, but
I'm not
I
quite sure,
don't
but it's been
know
pushed
when
back
was
like
it
3 or
pushed
4
back.
times.
It was pushed back November 19th, is what it's got pushed back to. That's not bad, but I think that was just a couple days or something. I'm not sure. But it is the most hyped game I've seen gameplay. It's awesome.
Delayed by another 21 days.
Like I've always liked this cyberpunk,
Yeah.
aesthetic, if that makes any sense, like this 1980s cyberpunk aesthetic. It's good. I've had wallpapers on my computer of like Luke Skywalker in a cyberpunk world or something. It was just I love it. It's
I haven't played a Cyberpunk game.
I haven't either.
I played similar games, but not one from the series.
Actually, I've never played a cyberpunk game, but there was games that had cyberpunk vibes, like BioShock Infinite, for example. One of my favorite games I've ever played, story-wise, just blew me away. It's a mind-bending story. Pretty cool. And old, by this point, like 7 years old. But it's still worth playing today.
Yeah, I'm just looking at gameplay right now of Cyberpunk because I haven't seen some in quite a while. The driving looks on point in my opinion.
Yeah, the driving, that's gonna be fun.
No, that isn't the main. That isn't the point of the point of the game. Is the combat mainly.
Yeah, guns and customization and just overall, gameplay, like in a city of a dystopian future or something like that. I don't know.
To me, for an open world game like this, GTA, Watch Dogs, them type of games, driving is really important to me because I'm really into cars.
Oh man, I love cars. Like any type of cars in any type of world. Like you got GTA. I mean, that's the only game you can compare anything with cars in other than racing games. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful world. Like definitely the landscape of the world is
The voice acting as well. I think that's inside from what we've seen. I think it's one of the best in recent times.
yeah, that too. That is yeah, like those two points in games make any game perfect. Even if it's trash, they have good voice acting, good mechanics, and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter on the story too much if you have good voice acting and mechanics in the game, like driving, guns, overall gameplay.
The voice acting is just such a small part of the game, but if you get it wrong, it can change the game more than you think.
Yeah, it can make it more cringeworthy and you don't want to play this because it's so badly voice acted. It just you don't want to play the game.
As well as if they don't get the right voice for like the character's personality, it just won't fit.
Yeah, and it's like cheesy and all that.
Out of all the games coming out in November so far, if this comes out when they say it does at current times, I think this is the best game
This is going to be the game of the year, most likely. I mean,
for sure.
the
Yeah.
only
If they delay it again, it's not going to come out this year.
it's probably not. It's going to get pushed back probably, but that's due to COVID and production stuff. You want to have a finished game than a broken game. A finished game over a broken game.
They've waited over a year for this game. News came out like 4 or 5 years ago. They first announced it. People waited that long, and they know people wait more months if they have to, because they just know it will sell.
Yeah, it's just like that wait for Fallout 4 too, a few years ago. And then, yeah, this is probably going to be the game of the year. I'm calling it now. Man,
I think we already knew that months ago, even before gameplay came out.
it was Cyberpunk 2077 or the Samurai game. Those are like the two ones that interest me the most out of all the games that are being released this year. I mean, the Miles Morales game that.
Yeah, that's one of the last ones we'll talk about. Next is Demon Souls. So do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, sure. Demon Souls, I don't know too much about. I've played Dark Souls, the first one. That's all I know. Even anything with souls in it, I just think of Diablo or Dark Souls. And
Yeah, these type of games aren't. They're not my type. I've played part of
uh,
Doom 2016,
like a
but
RPG,
it's not really mine. No, like
like you know,
sort of like the Demon Souls,
like Soul,
Dark Souls story,
uh,
Doom, them
uh,
type of games.
like Doom and Dark Souls, Souls-like games, like with a bunch of like just way too hard for your taste, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I did like Wolfenstein. It's similar.
oh, Wolfenstein. I haven't finished Wolfenstein actually. I want to, but haven't gotten around to it.
I didn't play Dark Souls, but what I know is it is one of the hardest games ever to be made, even at the easiest settings.
Yeah, you're gonna get frustrated a lot, and you're gonna end up on the you have died screen a lot. It's just it's it's fun, but also a pain in the butt sometimes. Like really hard.
Yeah, I'm looking at gameplay of Demon Souls, and the lighting is really well done.
Oh wow. Okay, this looks awesome. I'm watching it right now. It's like one of those, you know, I can't describe it. Like those games where you're a knight, right? Or yeah, like the only thing you can describe it as is Dark Souls, really. But like bunch of dragons, knight gameplay. Oh yeah, yeah. This does look like yeah, yeah. It's a knight game, man. I might play this actually. I mean, it's frustrating at times when I'm playing like Dark Souls 1 or 2. I haven't played 2 yet, but oh, yeah, like puzzles and stuff like that. And you have to fight demons and yeah.
It's in the same. I think it's in the same series, from what I know. I could be wrong, but I think the Souls is just a series.
Oh, like not as hard to fight bosses.
I think they said this will be easier than Dark Souls, but still difficult enough. I think they said they'll keep the difficulty hard enough to keep to Dark Souls standards, but have easier difficulties as well.
Oh man. Fighting the big spider is just that'll be so sick, but also hard at the same time.
It looked it looked pretty easy to defeat. I think that's one of the first ones.
It looks cool. It looks really like really cool. I mean it terrifies me, but it looks really neat, you know.
Yeah, I don't really like horror games. I know this isn't really horror exactly, but
Me either. It's not really horror. It's like, fantasy and I could guess you could call it fantasy horror if you wanted to because these things can sneak attack you.
there's definitely horror aspects, yeah. But it's not the point of the game.
Yeah. Uh I just never been a fan of like, jump scares and stuff like that. Just never yeah. Yeah, just scares me. Don't like it.
Neither will I.
What was Destruction All Stars though? Um, Not sure what that one is. Destruction All Stars. Oh, like a racing game?
Well, it's exactly what it says. Um, Destruction Derby, basically.
Like you drive cars and destroy a go-kart game or something?
Kind of.
With that title, it reminds me of like some kind of Flash game, you know?
But once you watch it, you're gonna get hints of Fortnite. It's not it's not by Epic Games, but you're gonna sense that it's kind of like it.
Oh God. It does look like Fortnite, but I mean that's the aesthetic nowadays, right? For these cheesy kid-like graphics, you know?
I mean, one of the characters you can play as is a furry, so
Oh snap, this is a racing game. Okay. It does look like one of those those games on the Wii where you're basically driving around crushing cars. I might be thinking of a Wii game actually. There has to be one out there. I know for a fact. I played something like that when I was like 8 years old or something. Uh it looks awesome. I like it.
it looks good. I just don't think it would do that well.
I mean, I don't know. I can't judge it until it comes out, but uh it looks cool. Like it's got that.
I think people will start playing it when it first comes out, but a month later, no one's gonna be talking about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those games that people are so hyped up over, what's it called, Among Us right now. They're gonna be talking about Among Us, and then they got another hit next like month or something, 2 months from now. It could be something else, like something huge. Like
Exactly. Fall Guys came like 2 months later. No one's really playing it anymore.
yeah, no one's playing that anymore. It was a $20 game. 2 weeks later, a month later, really. It's Among Us.
I don't even think it's the price. The price was fine, I think.
Right, yeah. And then everybody switched to Among Us, and then they'll probably go back to Fortnite or Minecraft. It's just, I would I would play it. I would play it if it was, like, $10 on, like, console or something, you know?
Yeah. With Destruction All Stars, I think I would get it, but I just don't think there'll be much of a player base.
Man, I if it was $20, I would get it for console, like, easily.
Oh no. I've seen on Amazon that it's like 60, I believe.
That's probably what it's worth, you know? Like, $20 on console, like, that's what it's looking like.
To me, yeah, 20 $30 would be ideal. Yeah, but because it's one of the first games on next gen consoles, it's just not going to be that cheap.
Yeah. It's gonna be expensive. Anything new gen is gonna be expensive.
We can go to Spider-Man if you want.
So, Spider-Man, the other one, I haven't actually played that, but I've seen, part of the campaign, right? The, Marvel Spider-Man PlayStation 4 edition, whatever you wanna call it. The remaster of, the old Spider-Man games on the PlayStation 2. I have played that on my PC before, a bootleg version. Totally illegal.
I didn't play the PS4 one, but I've played a older Spider-Man game.
Yeah, it's basically a remaster of that, but with a different story. Not Doctor Octopus and all that stuff. I mean, they're probably in the game somewhere, but it's a totally different story that I want to play. I want to get this as well because I mean,
I think they said this was a meant to be an expansion of that game, but they decided to make it a full game.
this is a this is a sequel. This is a sequel. Yeah. This is basically this is basically a different version of Spider-Man. Miles Morales is in a different timeline, different world or something. It's just a different comic book, really. I wasn't huge on it, but I've always been a fan of Spider-Man, so I'll probably get it anyway when I get up.
I've always preferred Batman. Batman was my favorite.
Yeah, the Batman games, man. If you've ever played them,
I played Arkham Knight.
yeah, I had Arkham Asylum. It's pretty fun. It's awesome. Those games, in particular, probably my favorite superhero games ever made because you could be Batman and just punch people to death, especially the Joker.
Mm. The game, the combat and the particle systems they use in Miles Morales looks really, really good.
The combat,
Yeah, the combat looks. Apparently, it's really improved from the previous games. It looks really fluid.
yeah. Oh man, I love combat and yeah, superhero games and all that. It's it's satisfying, especially punching people at Spider-Man and just spinning webs and stuff at their face. It's just it's satisfying. And
I'm surprised Spider-Man is as popular as it is, like for how gimmicky the character is.
yeah, I've always loved Spider-Man ever since I was like 5 years old or something like that. I've always been satisfied with. I didn't play the games obviously until like later, but I've always watched the cartoons. I watched the cartoons and later got comic books later down the line. Kind of sold them though, but that happens. I think we had a Spider-Man original copy. Like I don't know why my yeah, it was like a original Amazing Spider-Man comic book. Crazy that my grandparents had that. My grandma, uh, like 10 years ago, had that. Didn't know what it was, but they had it. Kind of sold it though. It's kind of lame. But I think that's all we have to talk about, right?
Xbox and PS5.
All right, sure, sure. Uh, so I've I've had I've always been a fan of Xbox, but I've been leaning towards the PlayStation a little bit more. Uh, I just love the aesthetic of PlayStation controllers. Like they feel more comfortable on my hands. I mean, that's just me. Uh,
The new one's a lot bigger than the DualShock 4.
yeah, I know. It looks like some kind of spaceship controller. Like I'm going to outer space or something. And even the console looks like a spaceship PC router. Um,
The console is probably as big as tall as my TV.
but the PlayStation 3, 2, 4, whatever. I just love the controllers. The graphics are nice too. That is a plus. And I've had an Xbox my whole life. Actually, not my whole life. Since 2014. I bought my first Xbox for my birthday, I believe, that year.
I think I got my first PlayStation around that time. Before that, I only had a Wii.
And I played Minecraft and Call of Duty first. Something like that. Because Minecraft was huge back then. Like really huge in 2014. It still is too. Um,
I mean, it still is now, but yeah, surprisingly, I really don't know how.
yeah, it's a classic game. It doesn't die. But yeah, that's my story. I've always used Xbox. I mean, I got an Xbox One S, I believe, when Battlefield 1 came out, the first Battlefield. You know that game, right? Battlefield 1.
I think I think I had that. I'm not sure
That's
though.
that's a World War One gameplay, whatever. I liked it. I liked the campaign more than the online gameplay because it was kind of trash. But it was fun. I really liked it. It was
I,
like Call of Duty. They were trying to be like Call of Duty, basically.
yeah, I've never had an Xbox. I had a PS3, not when it first came out, like 2012 or something, and then I got a PS4 2016, I think. I don't have that anymore. My brother still does. But I have a Switch now, but I've never had an Xbox. I just the exclusives on PS4 just I preferred, so that's probably why I went for it.
Yeah, the only exclusive you have on Xbox is like Halo or something.
Halo and Forza. There's others, but they're the main two.
Yeah, the racing games that I'm not huge on,
I
but
liked
people
I liked
like them.
Horizon 3, but I don't like the main.
I think I got a demo once, like a little demo of the game, like with another game. It was just I think it was the third one or the second one. I don't remember. It was a racing game, Forza. But yeah, just never clicked to
Yeah,
me,
I'm
I
not
guess.
really into like realistic racing games. I'm more into the arcadey ones.
Yeah, yeah, the arcade stuff like Rocket League or something
Yeah.
like
What do
that.
you think about the
Whatever.
pricing for PS5 Series X? Do you think they're too expensive or about right?
I I think it's about the same as the other consoles when they came out. They were like $500,
I'm not
right?
sure, but I think the price was expected to be what they are. To me, they are pretty expensive, but I get why they're that much.
Yeah, I know. Like they're as much as a phone, like a cell phone. I think that's reasonable if you save up. I mean, if you have a allowance, you save up, buy a console if you want to. I think it's worth it. Obviously worth it if people enjoy this stuff.
Definitely, if you like getting it, electronics as soon as they come out, then definitely. But like in 2 years down the line, they're going to be what 250, maybe 300.
Yeah, uh, it might be worthless. It might be a terrible console in the next 3 years. Who knows? It might be good.
The games sell the console. If the games are bad or there's not enough, then the consoles won't do well. Next gen consoles, 70, $80, brand new. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, if there's not enough games or it's just bad pricing, then I would say it's worthless. But right now, I think it's actually pretty good. You still have the Switch, and no one talks about the Switch really. They just talk about PlayStation or Xbox.
Because there's barely any games coming out for it.
Yeah, like Nintendo's just slowing down. They don't make games a lot.
Well, this year they've announced barely anything. Last month they did announce all the Mario games, but none of them are new. They're just ports.
Yeah, uh, it's remasters, right?
Now they're just straight up ports.
Oh, it's just remasters.
They haven't upped the quality or like even Super Mario 64. They haven't made it full screen. It's 3x4 or 4x3, whatever. So it's not even full screen.
Right. Mm. They could have made it 1080p or something like that. It's kind of lame. This has been a gaming podcast with Chibi. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget subscribe to both of our channels and stay super chill.
And comment down below if you want future episodes and how we can improve.
Yeah, definitely comment below if you want me to continue this series and if you want him to continue this series with me. It'll be awesome. Thank you for watching.